Hello friends, this is Dr. Abu Hassan Sunai Sheikh, and today we are going to study some of the steps in the research process. So what are the steps involved in the research process into the videos? I would like to tell you that if you have not subscribed my channel, then kindly subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates. So in case if I upload new videos, you will get the latest updates for the videos. Thank you. So basically there are 8 steps that are being involved in the research process. Identifying the problem. The first and foremost task in the entire process of scientific research is to identify a research problem. A well-identified problem will lead the researcher to accomplish all important phases of the research process, starting from setting objectives to the selection of the research methodology. But the core question is whether all problems requires research. We have countless problems around us, but all that we encounter do not qualify as research problems, and thus these needs to be researched. At this point in view, we must draw a line between a research problem and a non-research problem. The second step in the process of the research involves reviewing of literature. A review of relevant literature is an integral part of the research process. It enables the researcher to formulate his problems in terms of the specific aspects of the general area of his interest that has not been so far researched. Such a view not only provides him exposure to a larger body of knowledge, but also equips him with enhanced knowledge to efficiently follow the research process. Through a proper review of the literature, the researcher may develop the coherence between the result of his study and those of the others. Step number 3 is setting research questions, objectives, and hypotheses. After discovering and defining the research problems, researcher should make a formal statement of the problem leading to research objectives. An objective will precisely say what should be researched to delineate the type of information that should be collected and provide a framework for the scope of the study. The best expression of a research objective is a well-formulated, testable research hypothesis. So what's a hypothesis? A hypothesis is an unproven statement or proposition that can be refuted or supported by empirical data. Hypothetical statements asserts a possible answer to a research question. The next step, step number 4, involves choosing the study design. The research design is the blueprint or framework for fulfilling objectives and answering research questions. It is a master plan specifying the methods and procedures for collecting, processing, and analyzing the collected data. There are 4 basic research designs that a researcher can use to conduct his or her study, that is, survey, experiment, secondary data study, and observational study. The type of research design to be chosen from among the above 4 designs depends primarily on 4 factors: the type of problems, the objective of the study, the existing state of knowledge about the problem that is being studied, and the resources are available for the study. The next step involves deciding on the sample design. Sampling is an important and a separate step in the research process. The basic idea of sampling is that it involves any procedure that uses a relatively small number of items or portion called as a sample of a universe called population to conclude the whole population. It contrasts with the process of complete enumeration in which every member of the population is included. Such a complete enumeration is referred to as census. A population is the total collection of elements about which we wish to make some inference or generalization. On the other hand, a sample is a part of the population carefully selected to represent that population. If certain statistical procedures are followed in selecting the sample, it should have the same characteristics as the population as a whole. These procedures are embedded in the sample design. So a sample design refers to the methods to be followed in selecting a sample from the population and the estimating technique, that is, formula for computing sample statistics. So the basic question here it comes, that is how to select a sample. To answer this question, we must have acquaintance with the sampling methods. These methods are basically of two types: probability sampling and non-probability sampling. Probability sampling ensures every unit a known non-zero probability of selection within the target population. If there is no feasible alternative, a non-probability sampling method may be employed. The sixth step in the process of the research involves collecting data. The gathering of data may range from simple observation to a large-scale survey in any defined population. There are many ways to collect the data. The approach selected depends on the objective of the study, the research design, and the availability of time, money, and personnel. With the variation in the type of the data, that is qualitative or quantitative, to be collected, the method of data collection also varies. The most common means for collecting quantitative data is the structured interview. Studies that obtain data by interviewing respondents are called surveys. Data can also be collected by using self-administered questionnaires. Telephone interviewing is another way in which data may be collected. Other means of data collection includes the use of secondary sources such as the census, vital registration record, official documents, previous survey, etc. Qualitative data are collected mainly through in-depth interviews, focus group discussions, and observational studies. The seventh step in the process of the research is processing and analyzing the data. Data processing generally begins with the editing and coding of the data. Data are edited to ensure consistency across respondents and to locate omissions if any. In survey data, editing reduces errors in the recording, improves legibility, and clarifies unclear and inappropriate responses. In addition to editing, the data also needs coding. Because it is impractical to place raw data into a report, alphanumeric codes are used to reduce the responses to a more manageable form for storage and future processing. This coding process facilitates processing the data. The personal computer offers an excellent opportunity in data editing and coding process. Data analysis usually involves reducing accumulated data to manageable size, developing summaries, searching for patterns, and applying statistical techniques for understanding and interpreting the findings in the light of the research questions. The last step, step number 8, involves writing the report. The entire task of a research study is accumulated in a document called a proposal. A research proposal is a work plan, prospectus, outline, and offer a statement of intent or commitment from an individual researcher or an organization to produce a product or render a service to a potential client or sponsor. The proposal will be prepared to keep in view the sequence presented in the research process. The proposal tells us what, how, where, and to whom it will be done. It must also show the benefit of doing it. It always includes an explanation of the purpose of the study or a definition of the problem. It systematically outlines the particular research methodology and details the procedures that will be utilized at each stage of the research process. Remember, the end goal of a scientific study is to interpret the result and draw conclusion. To this end, it is necessary to prepare a report and transmit the findings and recommendation to administrator, policymakers and program managers for the intended purpose of making a decision. You. And please don't forget to press the like button, subscribe button as well as the bell icon button. In order to receive the latest updates, press the bell icon so that you'll be able to get all the latest updates from my channel. Thank you.